As the kids say, we'll just do the thing.
I was
We'll do the thing.
occupying the immediate staff.
Okay, so hi again. Here we are back again. So good to see you guys. You're the best. I love you like family. I do. And I'm Jessica Lewis, and I'm the founder of a company called Sculpt Your Life. And gosh, this year's my 20th anniversary. I can't believe it. On paper, I'm kind of a big fail, but I love doing what I do. And so what I do is, I'm a master personal trainer, I'm a certified nutritional counselor, and I teach a couple different styles of Tai Chi, although there's one in particular I love the most. And the reason why I do all those things is because I've noticed over the course of time in my own life, and in watching lots of people, that somewhere where the way you move and the way you eat and the way you relax overlap, that's your best health, right there. So, however, I do think that the relaxing piece might be the most important part, and it's certainly the part that Western medicine just, is just now beginning to get. So I think we have a heavy lift here, to do in getting as many people as possible to shift their mindset about what qualifies as good quality self-care. And I think a great way to start is with Tai Chi Chih. And that's what we're doing here again today. That's what we do pretty much every other week here at the Johnson Support Community, Tai Chi Chih. And I am accredited to teach a couple different kinds of Tai Chi, but the truth is, I don't like the other styles very much. I just, there's a lot of hard things in the world. I don't think Tai Chi has to be one of them. And not even that it's hard, although some people do say that lots of styles of Tai Chi are hard, because it takes you sometimes a bunch of years just to sort of begin to get it. But in most of the other styles of Tai Chi, the reason why the hand is moving this way and the eyes are following the hand is because there's a sword over there, or a bad guy. You never want to take your eye off the bad guy. There's enough bad guys in the world. We don't need to have them in the Tai Chi class. So the style I teach is, hi, how are you doing? It's all about nothing other than mindfulness in motion. In fact, that's sort of our little nickname, mindfulness in motion. And it's called Tai Chi Chih. And there's only 20 movements. And one way that you can see whether or not you're watching a Tai Chi Chih class versus just a standard run-of-the-mill Tai Chi class, right off the bat, even if you've never taken one before, here's the big visual distinction. You'll see people just being quiet, sitting in the chair or standing very still for a few moments, and then you'll see them move. And then they'll be very quiet again. And then you'll see them move. So there's your sign, right there. There's your sign. That's what we do in Tai Chi Chih. And that helps people feel as if this is super easy and super quick to learn too, because since we have little mindful moments in between the movement, you don't have to do it in a particular order. And that helps people just relax and know that, even if I only do a couple moves, I know I'm still doing something really good for my health. So why don't we start the day like we often do here. We'll have a little mindful moment in the chair. Maybe we'll do a couple of movements in the chair. And then if you want to do the movement standing up, we can do that. And if you don't, you'll know how to do them in the chair. So it'll all be good. You always have the best shirts on.
Well, this is one of my favorite, Melanie. Yeah. I'm sorry.
And it's a beautiful color, too. I kind of want that.
Oh,
That would look good on me.
I love colors.
Ever since I started having blue hair, I have getting gravitated to those blue shirts. So, yeah. All right, so let's do this. Let's all sit in the chair in just such a way that you're in charge of your own spine. So if you're leaning back against the chair, just scooch a little forward so that you can decide where and how your upper body is here in this chair. And if you like, you can close your eyes. If you don't feel balanced enough to do that without falling over, don't do that. Don't do that. So I'm going to go ahead and close my eyes. let's just take a deep breath. Let it out. Let's do that again. Let's take a nice deep breath. And let it out. Nice. And now I know I'm turning into a serious repeater. I often say the same things over and over and over again. But if you find something that works, just stick with it. So I'll tell you what. Let's all just visualize our heads for just a moment. Let's think about them differently. Rather than being this big old important head of the body, with all the thoughts and brains in there, just imagine for a moment that it's a balloon that has lost some of its helium. So rather than floating up, up, up and away, the way helium balloons often do, just notice how it's hovering there at about the height of your head. Just see if that helps you feel a little bit lighter in your upper body. Just noticing the head is simply hanging there, all by itself with no effort at all. And then just notice your spine for a moment, mentally, of course. And see if you can visualize it as nothing more than just the string hanging down from a balloon. And take a breath and let it out. And just see if that helps you feel a little bit lighter yet. And sort of visualize the whole upper body just kind of hanging there. It's having some good hang time. And all the way down at the bottom of the spine, there is a bowl. You could call it your pelvis. I don't have any of my props today, so you're just going to have to visualize it mentally. And like many bowls, the bottom of this bowl, your pelvic bowl, is round with curvy little sit bones down there. And now I really want you to feel the sensations of your sit bones touching the chair right now. Let's all do that. And I'll tell you what, let's see if we can each just mentally, with our mind's eye, look at the sit bones. Just take a nice long look at them while I call the bell. And of course, that's a fancy Buddhist way of saying I'm going to ring it. And your whole job until I call you back is just to notice anything you happen to notice about your sit bones resting against the chair. So let's begin right now. Go ahead, bring your awareness back to the room. So, how many of you all have heard of mindfulness? You heard of it. Even if you don't know what it is, you heard of it. It's a pretty sexy term right now, right? I have a friend of mine who's probably the best mindfulness instructor anywhere, except for maybe John Kabat-Zinn. And he always says, It's getting so popular right now, there's like McMindfulness everywhere you go. But here's the thing, if you boil mindfulness down to its absolute essence, all it really means is paying attention to something we normally don't pay any attention to. In the present moment, like just right now, I'm paying attention to blah, blah. And without judging yourself, if your mind wanders, because that's what minds do, right? So that's why Tai Chi Chuan qualifies as a moving mindfulness practice, because when we're doing it, we're paying attention to something you never would pay attention to unless I asked you to, like your sit bones. How often do you pay attention to your sit bones? Right? Unless they're hurting. And then you're like, right? Or your feet. How often do you pay attention to the sensations of your feet touching the floor? Right? And if your mind wanders, you try not to judge yourself, because that's what minds do. So let's do that. Let's just do Tai Chi Chuan that way. We always do Tai Chi Chuan that way, but let's just tell ourselves today, we're going to do it really mindfully, just really notice whatever I happen to call your attention to the best of your ability. And if your mind wanders, that's okay. No such thing as bad Tai Chi Chuan. That's what I would say. So feel the sit bones. We're already in the rest position if you're in the chair. Yeah, if you're in the chair, just feel your sit bones, kind of let your upper body just kind of hover there rather than leaning back against the back of the chair. And if your knees aren't quite in front of your hips, if they're like this or like that, just see if you can put them in a place in front of your hips that feels good. And just let your feet be right under your knees. Put your hands on your legs, right? And let's just go over the forward, backward weight shift for a minute. So the upper body, we've already talked about it being like a balloon. It's going to stay that way. It's just going to maybe float a little forward and then float a little back. And the only thing that's going to happen is the bowl down here is going to kind of roll forward and roll back. So pretend you've got a string attached to your belly button, right? And the belly button, of course, is on the front edge of the bowl. And just pull on it. And kind of feel your bowl kind of spilling forward. And then just push back. You just visualize you've got a bowl here, down here, and just pull on the front lip of the bowl. And just kind of push back. Let's do that a couple times. Just pull on the front lip. And just kind of push back. And the folks online here can see me from the side, so you can see how my upper body isn't really doing anything except floating forward and back. Let's do it one more time with me facing you guys. And then I'm going to turn sideways so you can see it. See if my upper body looks like it's just floating my arm out of the way. Here, I'll do this. Pulling the front edge of the bowl forward, and I'm just kind of pushing it back. Let's do it a couple times. And back. And if you don't already have it, put one hand on the curvy part of your low back. And when you pull on the front edge of the bowl, do you feel the curvy part of your back get a little curvier? Good. And when you push back on the front edge of the bowl, do you feel the back getting a little flatter? A little bit? Like right under the curvy part of your hand? Let's do one more and just see if you feel it. Maybe next time I'll wear pajama pants because they have strings. Let's do one more. And then push. Good. So that's all we're going to be doing when we do Tai Chi Chuan in the chair, when we're doing the forward back moves. So let's do rocking motion. Just put the hands back here. And just pretend you're pulling on the front edge of the bowl and pushing it back. And pulling on the front edge of the bowl. Yeah. And pushing it back. I know I often talk about the arms sort of like being like willow branches or Spanish moss. But think about it this way. You've seen a flag waving in the breeze, right? So your hands are kind of like the very front flippy edge of the flag. The breeze blows the back of the flag. attached to the pole, and that doesn't move very much. But the front edge of the flag, the flippy edge, that's the part that flaps, right? It really moves. So just let your arms kind of be blown up there. And back. Let's do 2 more. That was 1. And here's the last one. And we're just going to let the hands kind of float back down to rest here. Just feel, oh, there's good Chih flow when she's taking her jacket off. I always get warm when I do touch each other. And usually I'm a very chilly person.
Me too.
So yeah. It's good flow of Chih, good flow of energy. Good, so that's the easiest way to do rocking motion is like that. So easy, right? I'll tell you what, let's do one more forward, backward move in the chair, and then we'll do a side-to-side move in the chair, and then you'll have the whole primer on how to do Tai Chi on the chair. I'll mirror you since I'm facing all of you, so go ahead and just place your left foot just slightly out. It's really like a metaphor, it doesn't have to be that far out. And yeah, let's do around the platter. So remember there's like a big turkey platter right at like out in front of the center of your chest here, yeah? And you're going to put your hands near the back of it. You can even sort of cock the wrists up a little bit, like as if there's a ball under each hand, and the 2 balls are on the plate. Yeah. And just remember, we're just going to let the front of the bowl there be sort of pulled forward, and then pushed back. Yeah. And since the left leg is the one that's out there, that's the directions the hand flow right now. But if you get your lefts and rights confused, that's okay. You're going to try to jump police. Thank God.
Okay, mommy.
Thank God there's no Tai Chi police. I could have been in jail for the last 15, 20 years. I've never seen this thing as Tai Chi police. And I'm not the greatest counter, but I think that was 8, so we'll call this next one 9. And then we're just going to pull the front foot back, and we're just going to let the hands rest. And just feel your body resting. You can, if you like, you can let your thoughts kind of focus on the sit bones, just kissing the chair a minute. And let's do the other side. And this time the hands will go the other direction because your other leg is out. But here we go. Nice. Last time, didn't we talk about curling in photography last time? I think we did.
Yes.
Energy bodies? I think we did.
Yes.
Yeah, so your dantian, that's that like big ball of energy in the middle of your body. It sort of sits in your bowl. When your bowl tips forward, the dantian expands. So that's why your hands are moving out. It's kind of pushing it out there. And when the bowl tips back, it contracts and sort of pulls the hands back. Let's call this 9. And we're just going to rest. Nice. So that was around the platter. Why don't we do carry the ball to the side? That's a great side-to-side one. Okay, and since I'm mirroring you, if I go that way, that's your right. Just saying. But if you go that way, that's okay too. That's okay. All right, so I'll tell you what, keep your nose facing me, because where your nose goes, your eyes follow. All right? But let this part of your body, sort of like what's between your sit bones and your collarbones, turn towards your right. Yeah. It's like the front edge of your bowl kind of went that way. Yeah? And then we're just going to put the hands up here. So now instead of 2 balls, we have 1 ball and our hands are around it. Right? And as the body turns towards your left, the hands are going to come down. And as you turn back again, they're going to track across the top. Yeah, that's it. Let's do 3 rotations. rotations. This is our second. And on the third one, when you kind of get up to the apex, you just let your hands float down. Yeah. Just feel your body resting. Let's do that again. I'm going to start over here. Good. If you want to get really technical about it, the dantian expands on either side of this movement. That's why the hands are farther away here and here. Let's do one more, and when they kind of get up to the apex, they're just going to float down. That was great. Let's do one more set. We usually do like 3 sets of 3, or 3 sets of everything. Sometimes each set has 3 parts. This is a good example. For the forward back moves, sometimes people say there's 9. And then we're going to float down. Just take a breath. This breathing's good. Let's go back again so we don't walk out of here like Quasimodo, or you can always stand if you want. So again, the nose is straight because the eyes follow the nose for some reason, following around the nose, right? But let everything between your sit bones and your collarbones turn towards your left, and we're going to put the hands up here. Yeah, good. Here we go. Nice. And here's the third one. So when you kind of get up to the top, you just let the hands float. Yeah. Again. Have you ever like pulled a tissue out of the box and then just let go of it and watch it float down to the ground? You ever seen that? It's very soft and very slow. So right here, just let your hands float. Yeah, like tissues. Let's do it again. As we always say, the best way to do Tai Chi Chuan is as if the air has somehow become a little thick. So that's why we move so slow, because there's like a tiniest little bit of resistance there. And right here. That was nice. Was it easy? I hope. Yeah, I was over at the other cancer support community site yesterday. I've been long-term subbing there for a while, and there was a new person for the first time in a while. But everybody else was so experienced, we just decided to go ahead and do a full practice anyway. Just, don't worry about it, I'll just catch on. I like your attitude. Anyway, at the end, I'm like, how'd you like it? She goes, I feel like my brain just got a massage. That's really cool. No one's ever said that before. How often do you have a brain massage? Like, I've never had a brain massage. It's really good. So, I'll stand up, and if you don't want to, don't. And if you like to stand up, that's fine too. So, why don't we just do that? So the seated rest position, you all know how to do that, but the standing rest position is really not that much different. The only difference is your heels are going to be kind of close, rather than knee distance apart and toes straight forward. Your heels are going to be kind of close. Here, I'll turn sideways so you can see what I'm talking about here. And then all you got to do is just sort of let your tailbone tuck under. And for me, I also sometimes think it's like I just let my low back get a little longer and a little flatter, right? And when that happens, my knees just kind of, they just kind of go a little forward. And the most important thing is suddenly I really feel my feet. I can feel my feet 100% touching the floor. So just let's take a moment to feel that. Your feet are kind of like the sit bones of your lower body, right? Just feel your feet touching the floor. And let's do one of the forward backward moves. So we're going to have the left foot much farther out than the right, and the easiest way to do that is just let all the weight drain out of it. You're just going to let everything drain into the right leg. is totally empty. Just extend the knee. Yeah. And let's do pulling in the energy, which is just like around the platform where the hands are under it. So it's your full leg, that's your empty leg. When you flow forward, they're going to switch. Okay, so here we go. And when you flow back, they switch back again. Yeah. Here I'm going to face you, so I'm going to mirror you. That way we'll all go in the same direction. Let's take our time. Nice. Very nice. Let's do one more. We'll call that 9. And we're going to rest. Let's do the other side. Kathleen, I like your shoes. I love those shoes. Are they Hey Dudes? I love them. Skechers are great. I love the name Hey Dude. I need those shoes. Here we go. I have such big feet, I often wear men's shoes.
What? Oh my God.
And Hey Dudes look exactly the same. It doesn't matter if they're male or female.
Right. The unisex.
I'll never forget the first time when I was a kid, I said, dude, when she said to me. I said, well, I'm like, what? But it's funny though. See if you feel your upper body still acting like a balloon. Just let it flow forward and back. It just goes a little further than it does in the chair. That's all. And we'll call this next one 9. Good. And we're just going to rest. Nice. Good. Tell you what, I'll do the next one half standing, half seated. How about that? And we'll do fewer reps on some of these. If you like, it'll take us a little bit less time. We'll get more moves in. Let's do around the platter variation. Okay, with your left foot out, if you like. So the hands start moving just like they would around the platter, where then the fingers just lift here. And then they drop. It's like you suddenly have the same ball you had when we were doing carry the ball between your hands. Yeah. Very nice. Let's do one more. And we're going to rest right here. Really nice. Just feel your feet touching the ground, or feel your sit bones. And I'm going to do the other side seated. If you want to stay standing, please feel free. I'm going to put the right leg out there a little bit. Your right leg. Good. And let's do around the platter variation. On the other side, here we go. Very nice. Now again, so soft. Can you feel a big difference in the way you practice now than the way you started months ago? Let's do one more. And we're going to rest right here. Let's rest. Since I'm seated, I'll do one half of the next move seated. I'll do the other half standing if you like. Let's put the left leg out there a little bit. Let's do a bass drum. So the hands are going to be about chest height, about shoulder width apart. And here we go. I have a really good teacher friend named Amy, and she always talks about the great subtraction. And see if you can strip away all the unnecessary muscular effort, mental effort. Just keep stripping it away, stripping it away, stripping it away. Let's do one more. Nice, just feel your body resting. Because the truth is that Chi's going to flow through your body whether you're doing anything or not. And if you're using effort, it's like you're squeezing the garden hose, choking the life out of it, you know. Let's do the other side. I'm going to stand, but you don't have to, okay? All right. And we're going to let the right leg flow out there now. Good. Awesome. And here we go. Nice. It's the same movement. It's just a little bigger if you're standing because you have further to go. That's it. Otherwise, it's the same. One more. And we're going to rest. Somebody has a chair that sounds like a shed.
I know.
I think it's awesome. Because it reminds me of being on a ship, which is kind of rocking. You know?
Oh, me.
Oh
I
my
kept
gosh,
hearing
it's
it.
awesome.
I thought it was coming from
I
his
should keep going to all the classes.
I love doing Tai Chi outside, even
Yes,
in the
it
dead of winter. I'll wear like a down coat and it makes a sound. Every time my hands go by, it goes, and it sounds like the ocean. And I'm like, ooh, this is nice. I should do that all the time. Let's do daughter on the mountaintop. I'll do one side standing and the other side seated, okay? So we're going to let your left leg flow out there first, ever so slightly. And mine's going to get up there a little bigger because I'm standing. And the hands just turn over. Yeah. And then as you flow forward, the hands come up, almost like you're going to clap, but at the last minute they don't. Nice. Yeah, but thinking about the water is not a bad way to roll when you're doing Tai Chi. Let's do one more. We'll call it 6. And we're going to rest. And I'm going to do the other side of the chair. So you're going to place your right foot ever so slightly out and just, doesn't take you doing that, right? And just pretend you're tugging on the front edge of that pelvic bowl there. And then you're pushing back on the front edge of the pelvic bowl. Nice. I don't travel very often because we have a little shack down by on the north side of Cape May, the affordable side of town. But one time I was lucky enough to go to Bermuda. And there was this cove that we went to. It was so amazing. Here, we'll do 2 more of these, and I'll tell you more about it. Nice, and here's where we're going to just feel the body at rest for a moment. Nice. So I'm in this cove, and you know, you can see all the way down to the sand, like 8 feet in Bermuda. That's how clear the water is. Up to my neck. It's also the temperature of a bathtub, which as far as I'm concerned is perfect, right? And you can feel the currents, but it's so still, it's almost like standing in a pool all by yourself with nobody moving around you. And then I start to feel the currents moving. And I swear to God, it was like the water was doing this to me. It was just moving me forward and back, and occasionally lifting me up and kind of dropping me down. And honestly, I've never forgotten it. That's the way I do my Tai Chi practice. pretend something is moving my body for me. And then it feels as if I'm not doing it. It's amazing. The mind is the most powerful muscle in your body. The way you think about things has everything to do with the way you experience them.
Yeah.
If you tell your mind, move as if you're not moving, it will let you move that way. So let's do daughter in the valley. We're going to put the left foot ever so slightly out there and just tell your mind, we're going to move as if you're not moving me. Okay? And just put the hands here. Good. And just feel the currents sort of pushing you forward from the back and pulling you back again. See if you do. Feel it that way, in that way. Nice. Your whole upper body just drifting slightly forward. And back. Nice. And one more here. And we're just going to rest. Nice. I'm going to do the other side standing, but you don't have to. So here we are. Leave your right leg out there this time. And the hands come here. Good. And tell yourself a story that you're in water up to your neck. And the currents are moving you. You're not in charge here. Very nice. Let's do one more. And we're going to rest right here. Nice. Very nice. I'll tell you what, let's do passing clouds. This is the first time that I ever had a sensation that I wasn't doing anything when I was just standing and doing Tai Chi Chuan, was when I was doing passing clouds. Because I was on the boat. And I was trying to do the thing, and I was not moving in the same rhythm as the boat. And once I just decided to kind of go with the flow, go with the rhythm, it was as if I wasn't doing anything. It was amazing. So let's do it that way. We're going to start by letting the upper body kind of turn over there towards your left. So the left hand comes up. If you're standing, you're just going to let your empty right heel just slide out to the side. And if you're seated, all you're doing is letting your upper body turn, the same way we did and carry it off to the side. Let's do one more just with this one hand. Nice. Now this next one, we're going to let the right hand come into play. Right here. That's it. Nice. This is a great move for really exploring how empty you can let one leg get while the other fills. So even though you're going to feel your right foot really want to levitate here, and now your left, just keep them glued down. If you're standing. If you're seated, it's no, it's a moot point. Good. We're going to do one more set here. And we're going to end by moving back the way we came. Very nice. Nice. I'll tell you what, let's do, that's good, Kathleen, I want to be able to see her. That's good. Let's do push-pull. I'll do one half standing, the other half seated, then we'll do working the pulley. Okay, it's going to make sense. Take my word for it. So we're going to start with your left leg out there first. Good, and the hands come up here. So again, just like all the other forward, backward moves, we're just going to float forward till the front leg is full, and now we're floating back to the back leg is full again, and that's it. Very nice. One more. And we're gonna rest. Nice. Let's do the other half seated, if you'd like. If you want to stay standing, that's fine. Good. I'm gonna place your right foot out there now. Here we go. Float forward. And back. See if you feel the dantian expanding, or at least your pelvic bowl kind of spilling forward there. Do you feel it?
Yes.
Good. That's important for the next move too. Very nice. One more. And we're going to rest. Just feel your body at rest for a moment. Nice. Let's do working the pulley. We'll do one half seated, one half standing. You and I are at a little bit of a, not disadvantage, but we have arms, so it'll be a little different. Arms will just have to be farther away from the body. So I'm going to scooch a little closer to the front of my chair now left. So we're going to start with the left leg out. And because that's true, the left hand's going to go up. And the other hand just turns over. Good. So now you know how I say the hands get pushed away by the expanding dantian? So that's going to be true with this one too. But the dantian is going to be turning from side to side also. So that will enable your arms to kind of move around without you having to have too much to do with that. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to let the bowl kind of spill forward as it turns away from this hand. And that causes the other hand to move behind you. Yeah. This is kind of a complex move, but it doesn't have to be. See if you feel the pelvic bowl kind of tipping forward as it turns. But the real magic here is when it does that, it also pushes one elbow behind you. Good. Very nice. Let's do one more here. Very nice. And right here, the hands are just going to float back down to your legs. Kleenex. All right, I'm going to do the other side standing. If you don't want to, don't. Okay? All right, so first I'm just going to let what would be I did this wrong, your right leg out there. And because the right leg is out there, the right hand's going to go up, and the other hand turns over. Good. So again, we're going to be moving forward and back, and you're going to feel the pelvic bowl kind of spilling a little bit forward as you go forward, but it's also going to be turning. Okay, so here we go. Nice. I think this movement is incredibly easy if you're in a chair without arms, or if you're standing. In a chair with arms, it can be a challenge. Very nice. Let's do one more. Feel the body at rest. That was really great. I'll tell you what, let's do a couple of the side-to-side moves. I'll do one or two sets seated, and then if you want to stand with me, you can. We'll do pulling tapping. Okay? So let your bowl kind of turn a little bit to your right, and that's going to sort of push the left shoulder out in front so the hand goes here, and the other hand just sneaks up on top. Yeah? And as the bowl kind of turns to the left, it pulls the hands apart, and then they just float back to your legs. Yeah. Let's do the other side. Good. And rest. The trick with this one is noticing whichever shoulder comes out in front. So in this case, it's your left. So that's always the underhand. That's a good little trick to remember for when you're standing up too. Good. And we're going to rest. Let's do one more. Good. And we're going to rest. Feel the body resting. Let's do light at the top of the head, light at the temple, in the chair. And then we'll do the move that's sort of like light at the top of the head and pulling taffy, got married and had a baby. This is what it would look like. Okay, so here we're just going to pretend that someone's pushing on your belly button a little bit backwards, and it's going to cause, you're going to feel like kind of a closing up of your belly right here. And let's scoop up a little energy and bring it up to the top of your head. And as someone tugs on the front end of your bowl there, it's going to cause your hands to separate. You can feel like a whole expansion here. And then a contraction. I often think this is like you're putting down roots and then you're blooming. Let's do one more. This is bulb season. And then right here with your body in neutral, you're going to kind of pull your energy up and out of the top of your head. By the way, if it hurts to have your hands up here, you just put them anywhere you want them to be. That's fine. And then you're going to hold wherever your hands are comfortable. And then you're going to feel yourself kind of shifting backwards and then shifting forwards and expanding. Again. And again. And the hands circle here. And you kind of fold it into your chest. And then rest. Nice. Now I'm going to do the second half standing. You do not have to join me. Here we are resting. And we're just going to kind of scoop up some energy and bring it up to the temples here. And we're kind of shrinking or contracting and then expanding. Good. And now we're mixing forward. And we're going to hold. Big circle here. Nice. Awesome. So let's do the progeny of those two moves in the chair, one set, and then I'll do the other standing. So instead of having your hands up here, when you sort of shift backwards, the fingers are going to drop. And when you shift forward, the fingertips are going to kind of come forward. So let's just do that a couple times. Here's one circle. Here's a second. Now this time, when you drop down, you're just going to turn towards your right and And so, of course, the left arm is underneath, and then we're going to pull taffy. Yeah, and then we're just going to rest in the middle. Good. So we call this version of pulling taffy wrist circles taffy. And then we're going to kind of roll over towards your left and pull taffy to the right. Yeah. Good. So now you know how to do it in your chair. I'm going to do a sitting. Here we go. Maybe don't step on my belt. Nice. Nice. Very nice. Let's do one more set. And rest right here. We're just going to feel the body at rest. Good. And let's end our practice today with joyous breath. I'll show you how to do one of the repetitions in the chair, and I'll do the other two standing. We usually do 3. So we're just going to shift backwards like we're all getting very accustomed to doing. And we're going to, it's like we're going to breathe out like this. Only the lips are going to be closed. So you're going to hear that in the back of your throat more than if I were standing next to you, would I hear it coming out of you, okay? And the hands will drop down when we do that. So here we go. And then as you shift forward, the elbows just bend, so the hands come up to the shoulders, and then they turn over, and we're going to use that special breath again, but sort of in 4 sections. Good. And this is what it would look like if we were standing. One more time. Good. I'm just going to flow back to standing rest. Y'all are just going to feel your bodies resting in the chair. And let's end today with cosmic consciousness pose. So I'll do what happens from here down right now, and then we can all do the upper body together. So here we go. Good. And then all of our arms are going to rise up till our forearms are about the height of our shoulders. And the fingertips are going to overlap. The left set of fingers are the ones that are closer to your body than the right. And I'm not mirroring right now. It just feels too weird to me because we only do it on one side. And I know this actually feels like a little effort. So just imagine you're resting your forearms on something that's very firm, so you don't have to do any work here. And let's all just be here for a moment. And let yourself flow back down to rest. And let's just take a few more moments to do a little more mindfulness in the chair. Okay. So if you're sitting in such a way that your back is against the backrest, just scooch a little forward. And if you feel stable and safe enough to close your eyes here, go ahead and close them. It's easier to focus on something mentally when there's less information coming in through your eyeballs, right? And again, we're just picturing the upper body more balloon-like than anatomical here for a moment. Just see if you can let your head almost float. And see if you can let your spine almost just hang down from the head, like the string of a balloon. And since we're all sitting, let's just mentally focus on the sit bones once again. Since your upper body's floating, just tell yourself a story. Your sit bones are simply kissing the chair. See if that helps you feel a little lighter. And let's begin by calling the bell once again. Bring your attention back to the room. And open your eyes if they have been closed. That was really wonderful. Oh my gosh, we have 2 minutes. So we can talk. Yeah, I'm so sorry, I can't remember your name. Is it Patty?
Mine?
Yeah.
Vanessa.
Vanessa, where did I get Patty from?
That's okay. I get Veronica,
Vanessa.
but not Patty, but it's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Or
So many
V.
people call me Jennifer. I actually answer to it. Jennifer and
You're
Erica.
Tiffany.
Jessica.
Jessica, see?
It's one of those 3-syllable names with an Ika on it.
And I got
answer
two.
to all of it.
I got the syllables in mine too. Like, oh, okay. Jessica.
So much softness in this room today. Can you all feel how differently you're moving now than when you first started?
Yeah.
Huge difference in cricket. Huge. How's your back feel today?
Not bad.
Not bad. It's amazing how much better we feel when we don't work so hard, right?
Right.
You know, this is going to sound silly, but it's less intimidating when you don't have the sign up there.
Maybe it should be lost.
True. That is
Let's
true.
get rid of it.
I don't know why, because
It feels like it's a structured, you know, a sign.
Because-
Yeah.
We have these
because I'm
duties.
constantly looking at the sign, you know, and seeing what you're doing.
Right.
Well, think about it this way, for years, because, I got hired here during the pandemic, and there were no Tai Chi classes like anywhere, and of course, nobody was gonna come. And, for a couple of years there, I got really good at teaching an invisible audience, So, when y'all first started coming, to be honest with you, it was a little bit like, what do I do now? So, yeah, maybe we don't need this anymore.
Yeah.
The folks who've been following for years, they can't see the signs. I'm trying to sign up. I guess I was trying to call official. It is what, I'm just turning it off, but we can talk a little longer.
Yeah, I agree. It seems like there's not